Let's talk about quantum computing. Quantum computing, something that's been getting a lot of attention lately.
Yeah.
They said that quantum computers, these things actually will solve in minutes what a regular computer takes 1 million years to solve.
Yeah.
It's not really at full capacity yet. They said over the next 5 years, maybe 10 years, it'll be like, but you have to keep it in the coldest conditions known to human. And they're complex computers. They pose a great risk security because they can crack codes. They could do they could do pretty much anything. So a lot of people think that that's going to be a risk to cryptocurrency.
It will be,
especially Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, it's not like they have like a working in governance that's actually updating cybersecurity on nobody even, it's a little harder than like say Ethereum, more centralized coin where they can, adapt with the times a little quicker. So how will this affect Bitcoin and cryptocurrency?
Short term or long term?
No, short term is not going to have an effect, but long term.
I think I first mentioned quantum on the show maybe 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
You did.
Next biggest space. It's going to be really interesting, though. What I will say about that Google quantum chip, I scoured the internet high and low looking after I looked at Travis's drama that he had going on. And the thing that I didn't see was a demo. So if you have this amazing chip and I'm seeing more videos about cooking with Kaya than you of this demo of the quantum. I don't believe you. We need more people. Y'all missed out on the AI race the first time. I'm not saying that Google does not have the chip. I would have loved to see the demo though. Now, how will it affect Bitcoin? I think at some point there may be some attacks, but I think they'll also, whoever runs the quantum space will end up providing cybersecurity for them. So if I have the ability to break into your safe, why not hire me as security for your safe to help you kind of keep some of these things encrypted? So, but I do think this sector is going to have a tremendous impact on crypto as a whole, the economy as a whole. It's going to be the next space. It's going to be as hot as AI was the last 2 years. But I'm not sold on Google having the solution yet. And I know everybody's asking about QUBS and the small companies. I'm telling you, a small company is not going to take the lead over in this race because it's probably one of the most important innovations of like the last 80 years. So,
yeah, I'm with you on that. I think short term, the quantum computers, they're just not powerful enough to interrupt Bitcoin. It's interesting. I was with you. I didn't see a demo. So when we talk about we're talking about Willow, and that's the computer. And so I had to now I got to do the research on it. So now I'm trying to figure out how does this thing work? And so the word qubits come up. So if you're doing research on quantum computing, you're going to hear qubits, and it just means a quantum bit. So for all y'all that grew up playing video games, you remember when it was 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit. That was just the measure of information that can be taken. And so a qubit is that. It's the measure of information that can be taken inside of quantum computing. Willow right now is at 105 superconducting qubits. So 105. That's where it's at currently. The problem with quantum computing, if you read every physicist and every expert, is the error test, right? It can do things very fast, but
is it accurate?
The reliability of it is so far off right now in present day. In order for it to have satisfactory error rates, it needs about 1,500 qubits. So right now, Willow's at 105. To have satisfactory error rates, and it needs 1,500. For it to have perform large fault tolerant calculations, it needs between 100,000 to 1 million qubits.
Yeah.
So when we talk about where are we at in quantum computing,
very beginning,
Google, which was a breakthrough, is at 105. To have large model, we need about 100,000 to 1 million. So we're kind of out of that. Like I said, as far as Bitcoin, not powerful enough yet. When it becomes, right, because Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, quantum computing isn't going anywhere. Bitcoin, if you understand proof of stake, proof of work, it has the ability to change in terms of forking. And so, again, doing the research on it, they're already trying to figure out how they can have cryptographic algorithms that are resistant to quantum computing. And so these technologies are working at the same time. They know the issue that's ahead of it. There are already people trying to figure out what is the soft fork that can help be resistance to it. And so that happened. Like by the time we figured it out, they've been working on it for probably 3 years already, knowing that this is the case going forward for quantum computing and the road that it'll collide with Bitcoin. Because like you said, security and reliability are going to be the two things that will be at the forefront of it.
It's kind of like when an artist back in the day said I had a fire album, and it's like, well, let me hear something. It's like, give me 9 more months. It's like, if it was there, they would have had demo day immediately.
10-second snippet of the album.
No, I mean, most people say that it's not ready yet.
Yeah,
but it will be.
Yeah,
sure.
Google,
China's putting more money in than anybody else. And I even saw a study that was like the scientists, like the graduate classes for like these type of, the average in America is 4 students per class. In China is 25 students. So they are pumping billions of dollars into, America is too, but they're putting even more resources, talent, human resources into quantum computing. And they're patient. So when it does happen, they're definitely working hard towards fine-tuning it and being the leaders in it.
And that's the point. It's like quantum computing is not going anywhere. And if we look at it like we looked at AI, then there'll be companies leading it, but infrastructure will still be needed, right? So if you're looking like, what's the play? Like you said, there's people that'll put up like these other quantum computing stocks. Look for infrastructure, right? Because they need to be housed somewhere. Cooling is very important to it. Who are the companies that are creating those things? Power and energy are going to be important. Like the power is ridiculous. Like when you're talking about how fast this works, they said that Willow's complex calculation can create solve something in 5 minutes, which would normally take a classic supercomputer around 10 septillion years to complete.
That sounds good with no demo.
That's ridiculous. So think about the power that's going to take to do that. Think about the infrastructure that needs to be housed to do that. Those are the areas that I would be looking at if we're talking about 5-10 years when it comes to quantum computing.
Yeah. You got to wait. The land is there, but it hasn't been developed yet. No amazing properties are there yet, so give it time. And trust me, like if there's a clear winner in quantum, it's going to be on the news nonstop, the same way NVIDIA was the last 2 or 3 years.